Welcome back. It's Koukos, and today we're talking about classic warrior talents. There's a big discussion happening all the time about warriors, and a lot of them are probably new folks, so they don't even know what they're getting into. They have no idea how many times they're going to die. They can't foresee the fact that they're going to quit like little babies around level 20-25. So for those of you who are coming back from vanilla and you have experience with warrior, you know that this is not a new topic and you probably already have your spec set, but I just wanted to kind of hit the middle ground. So the person who has some experience but needs a refresher, needs to kind of maybe reaffirm their intrinsic idea of what the right spec is, and maybe it'll help educate some people who still don't know what's going on. Let's do it. So when you're leveling as warrior, you're going to go two-hander. It's just more reliable. It's more consistent. Dual wield, you really need stats. Like you need a lot of crit, and there is no hit gear, so good luck with that. And unless the weapons are really, really good, you're just not going to do enough damage to survive a lot of the situations you're going to be in. So with that being said, I highly recommend you go arms. You could go two-handed Fury, and that is a thing, and a lot of people do that. I'm not going to advocate for that on this one. Instead, I'm going to say arms because it makes a lot of sense to me. If you look at the abilities you have in the first 30 levels, you got Rend, you got Heroic Strike, you got Overpower. There really isn't much else. So let's try to do the most we can with those spells. So we put 3 in Improved Rend, 2 in Deflection, 5 in Tactical Mastery. Now keep in mind, we're not really looking to stance dance a lot unless we have to interrupt, or I don't know. It's really just not going to happen because we don't have Berserker stance until 30 anyway. The reason why we put points here is to get anger management. We need this one because we're going to be really pissed off during the leveling process, and this will help us calm down. No, but for real, we need this for the hidden aura that it gives, and most of you know about this already, but it gives you 1 rage every 3 seconds as long as you're in combat. So that's really important. Also, it gets rid of the decay between pulls. So if you have spirit gear, for example, and you're just pulling a lot, that's awesome because you don't lose your rage, and that's always a good thing because you have more rage to spend on abilities, and that just overall streamlines your leveling experience, makes it faster. So at this point, we want to get the very valuable deep wounds. Every time you crit, you do 60% of the melee weapon's damage, average damage. So whatever weapon you're using, if it has high damage, it scales really well with this talent. We really want to get Impale, which is the next one. So we're going to pop 1 point in Improved Overpower because you are gonna miss. You're gonna get dodged, and if you get dodged, you can use Overpower. If it crits, awesome. That just adds back into deep wounds. So pick up Impale, and that's 20% flat across the board. 20% increased crit strike damage. It's pretty damn good. So at this point, we open up two-handed, put all 5 points in. That's a 5% boost to all the damage we do with the two-hander. We pick up Sweeping Strikes because we need this to lead into Mortal Strike at 40. Also, if you happen to pull multiple mobs, this can save your life. This is your cooldown, right? So Fury has Death Wish, Arms has Sweeping Strikes. This is an interesting point. At level 32, you've already got the quest for the Berserker stance, and you've maybe started, if not completed, the warrior quest for the weapon. At this exact same time, coincidentally, the talent tree opens up with axe specialization, mace specialization, and sword specialization. All 3 are choices as rewards for that weapon quest. So you can choose to get the sword, even though it's objectively crap compared to the other 2. You can get the mace, which is basically the same as the axe. It's just a little bit slower, if I recall correctly. And if not that, then the DPS is 0.1 higher, but the weapon damage is less than the axe. And finally, the axe itself, which most people get, the Whirlwind Axe. In the end, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. The Whirlwind Axe is the best. And if you spec for axes, this will increase your crit strike with axes by 5%. If you choose the mace and you pick this up, it's kind of interesting. you'll get 6% chance to stun a target for 3 seconds. So just keep that in mind. If you actually get the mace, you might be able to stun the target, and that could be good for survivability. But I feel like at this point, you're going to start prioritizing crit, you're going to start prioritizing your damage. So I think you really just want to keep funneling this into deep wounds and impale. And so just get the crit, get the axe. And from this point, you're just trying to get the points for Mortal Strike. So you fill out two-handed weapon specialization, you fill out improved overpower, maybe you put a point in improved charge, and you pick up Mortal Strike. Now your arms tree is basically done. Now you're level 40, you're doing good damage, hopefully you have like good agility gear, and you have a good two-hander, you have the Whirlwind Axe. So until you get the Ice Barbed Spear, or maybe something in between, but probably nothing, you're gonna go Fury. 5 points in Cruelty, that's 5% extra crit, it's awesome. 5 points in Unbridled Wrath. Every time you deal damage, you get Rage, or there's a chance to get Rage. You increase your flat AP by getting improved Battle Shout. And finally, on your last few steps to 60, you just pick up Enrage. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Now you're level 60 and you did it all two-hander, pretty much all in arms. And this is probably by far the most reliable, more consistent choice over Fury two-handed. That's not to say that you can't make Fury two-handed work. I mean, I could easily just switch over to Fury right now, put those points in, and make it a believable spec. I mean, this is me at level 29. I'm just about to get Berserker Stance. I finally get Death Wish. But I just feel like the talents up until level 30 in Fury aren't as efficient as the talents you get from arms. Now, of course, you will start to get something out of Fury after level 30. So you start popping in points, you get talents like Flurry, which is an awesome talent, and you get Bloodthirst at 41, and then you switch back over into arms. It's doable, it's reasonable, but I just don't think that it's as consistent. So I hope this helps you. If you have any questions or if you have any strong opinions, make sure you hit the dislike button and leave a hateful comment in the section. You know where it is. Feel free to, I don't know, share this with your buddies at work or something. I don't know what you YouTubers do. Cheers.